Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I hope you're all doing well. This time we're going to be looking at part 2 of the Life in the Mine series. If you missed part 1, I will put a link in the description of this video for you to watch that before you watch this one. As mines went even deeper, so the miners were faced with new problems, particularly when they reached the water table. Getting rid of the water was expensive, and the mining industry could no longer rely on individuals hacking away on the ground. Capital was needed. In the 17th century, Sir George Bruce owned a coal mine in Culross in Scotland that had become flooded. He installed what was known as an Egyptian wheel that consisted of an endless chain fitted with 36 buckets and driven by 3 horses. As the chain turned, the buckets dipped into the well at the bottom of the pit. Then they carried back up and emptied in a trough at the surface. The mine extended for a mile under the Firth of Forth and became so famous that King James I came on a visit. He descended the shaft on the shoreline and explored the underground passages. He had not been told that he would come up by a different shaft that emerged on an island. When he came out and found himself surrounded by water, he feared the worst and cried out, "Treason! Treason!" He was eventually pacified. Deep mines also provided new problems of access, even involving long climbs up and down the shaft. 9-year-old William Crago, continuing the tradition of generations of sons following fathers down the mines that carried on through the 20th century, described his first working day in a 19th century Cornish copper mine. He had to climb down a vertical ladder into the darkness, lit only by a candle stuck on his hat. "We at last stepped onto the footway," he said. "Father first, and I following him very carefully, we descended the first 480 feet. It was almost climbing down the side of a house, and as we slowly went along, ever and anon came Father's warning voice, 'Hold tight your hands, my son.' After that it became slightly easier, as the ladders were sloping instead of vertical. Father and son finally reached the bottom of the shaft, 1,600 feet below ground, and at the end of a long working day they had to climb back up again." The main improvement to mining came in the 17th century with the introduction of gunpowder for blasting. It still involved a great deal of hard work, as holes had to be drilled into the solid rock by hand to take the charge of powder, and it brought its own dangers in the days before the invention of a safety fuse. If the metal rod used to cram in the powder hit a rock and caused a spark, the whole charge would go off. One particular record described the terrible fate of a miner when an explosion fired a metal rod straight through his head. Ouch. There was another danger that was emerging in coal mines. Dr. Keyes, the founder of Caius College, Cambridge, wrote in the 16th century, "We also have in the northern part of Britain certain coal pits, the unwholesome vapour whereof is so pernicious to the hired labourers that it would immediately destroy them, if they did not get out of the way as soon as their lamps became blue. And this consumed what they call firedamp, we know as methane, and it was to become more of a problem as coal mines went even deeper." To finish off this video, iron rails or plates were introduced underground long before the age of steam railways. They made moving material far, far easier, as this anonymous poem of the period in the Tyneside dialect affirms. "God bless the man wi' peace and plenty that first invented metal plates. Draw out his years to 5 and 20, then slide them through the heavenly gates." And you get the idea with that. So, thank you very much for listening to part 2 in the Life in the Mine series. Next, we're going to be looking at mining in the Steam Age. So, I do hope you will join me in a video looking at that. If you would like the first part and the second part, do remember to share both videos, give them a like and so forth. Also, remember to click the notification button so you will never miss a part of this series, and subscribe should you so wish. Until the next video, take care of yourselves folks, and goodbye for now.